Hello guys, so today I'm going to explain to you my art, quote unquote art. But I'm going to do this for those of you who insist on using that word to describe what I do and what I think of and what I make. But to be honest, I only use the word art to give to people to slap labels on whatever it is that I'm doing or whatever it is that I'm making, so that whenever they get mind fucked too much and when they feel too awkward, too uncomfortable about whatever it is they're looking at, they can just take that little word called art and put labels on my stuff and be like, okay, at least it's art. Okay, at least that I can feel comfortable about the fact that it's labeled art. Because, like I said before, many times, I don't like to use the word art because that word has really lost its meanings ever since the postmodernism and Dada's and all that crap, intellectual, pretentious movement. Because before, during the Renaissance, it's very clear what art was. There's a meaning for that word. Right? There was a meaning for that word. The word art describes um, work that were done with your hands, whether you're doing sculptures or drawings or paintings. As long as you can render it or you can carve out on marble, or whatever, and make your work look realistically and aesthetically pleasing. Then you can call it art. But then slowly the word has become degenerated, and nowadays that nowadays that everything can be called art. Everyone is an artist. Nothing is art. And then when you call somebody an artist, everything he does becomes art. Even though when he's not trying to do art, he's still trying to label it, whatever he's doing is art. That's why someone is shit and he calls himself an artist. People assume that his shit is art. And this is good and bad sometimes because the good thing is that maybe one day I make something that I didn't intend to be art and people liked it and they called it art and it got accepted in the art world and I got paid $1 million for whatever shit that I pooped out and it's good. But at the same time, a lot of people try to slap labels on things that I did that weren't really supposed to be art, and then they say that, oh, that's not art, that's bullshit, right? And then I never intended to be art in the first place. So this thing has become like a double-edged sword, where like when you try to when you put labels, slap labels on things, sometimes you slap too much labels on too little things. Sometimes you slap not enough labels on things that should be labeled a certain ways. Okay, let's start with sketches and drawings. Okay, this is the next couple of drawings were all done by pen, a really fine point pen, where I just you know dotted the paper. So all those are consisted of little dots on like a human printer would do. And this one is called A Woman with Hairy Hair. And this one is called A Woman with Hairy Legs. And this is a drawing of my girlfriend. This was done with number 2, 6, and number 8 pencil, I believe, stick. And this is two giraffe connected and conjoined by the neck. I'm trying to describe the human condition where human beings really need their tongue to stand on they're standing on their tongue instead of on their feet, humans, because they use language to survive. This is a dream that I had where I was flying in the air and I was flying in the air and around the city of Manhattan, I believe, and those all those people in business suits, going about their work days and just walking on the street, without purposes. So then I'm like, fuck them, So I shoot up their heads because flying to my girlfriend's date and my breath smells and I don't have gum, so I just chew up their scalps one by one, and then I chew and chew and chew, and my breath smells really good. Okay, this is a sculpture of a baby that I made. It's called the Existentialist Baby, or a baby who's in existential crisis. This is a baby that was born in time of technology. So as you can see, his umbilical cord is an electric cord, and he sort of just strangles himself a little bit with it. And you can see he's crying like all the babies because he didn't want to be thrown out of his mother's vagina. He'd rather stay in her womb because this world full of technology is alienating. This is the first sculpture I ever made. This is this one is called this sculpture here. The head is detached from the body because sometimes the mind and the body don't really go together. The mind says one thing, the body says the other, and so the head is smiling, sarcastically, like sort of mocking its own condition, where the headless condition, and the body is in sort of this kneeling, praying kind of posture. Uh, so the contrast really brings out the contrast. And this is the poop family, the infamous poop family. This is a I made five sculptures: a father, a mother, a son, daughter, and a little baby, and then they're all connected by poop. But why did I use poop to for this for the object of connection? Because the family is connected, yet at the same time they're trying to repel at the same time. Poop is something that smells really bad. It's a force of repelling, right? It's a repelling force, and then but then at the same time they're also connected because they share the same genes. They live in the same house. They eat the same food. They drink the same water, and they shut out the same shit, and they're connected with love and you know genetics and all that stuff. But at the same time, they're repelling and hate. It's a hate and love relationship between families. And this is a grandma who is pregnant. Yes, I'm trying to convince people that the future pregnancy don't just belong to the young females. This is called a woman who just got raped, and this is called the smoke man. Made it with wire, and then I kind of just install it in the in the smoke pipe of my car. And this one is called the waiting man. I installed a mannequin, a store mannequin, and put clothes on it, and then put a mask on it, and then I put it underneath a bus stop. I guess I'm trying to convey the idea that when you wait in line, you sort of just become an object. When you wait in line for a movie or whatever, for a roller coaster, your object of desire and your goals are all the same. All homogenized. So you all just render into an object, and then it's just sort of waving down the bus, perpetuously. It's like forever waiting down a bus. Timelessly waiting down a bus in a way, and it becomes sort of like this robot thing where you really don't have any individualized thoughts because all your actions and your mindset are all just rendered, become homogenized with everybody else's. This is called the popcorn head because I guess you can say that when you watch too many Hollywood movies and eat too much popcorn when you watch those movies, your brain becomes popcorn and then explodes, and then you just become kind of mindless. This is naked Batman. Every time I watch Batman, ever since I was a little boy, I always stare at his crotch. I always wonder what he would look like without that suit. And the contrast here is that the idealized Batman and the idealized hero versus the everyday penis thing, because the hair, you can see the details of the hair, the ideal versus the particulars. And this is I told my entire family to just pretend to drown in a swimming pool, and I guess it could be an advertisement for swimming lessons. And then this person, his whole body turned to a penis. I guess when you work out too much, the only goal you have, really, the ultimate goal is, to turn to a penis, the ultimate phallic symbol. You do your bicep, you do your shoulder, you do squats for body. You know, this muscle gets hard, this other muscle gets hard. At the end of the day, your whole body gets hard. You turn to the ultimate Freudian phallic symbol of the penis, and you try to stick yourself back into a woman. Back where you come from, because that's where I came from. That's where I want to return when I die. It's back to a woman's womb. That's why all the men's conscious desire is to go back to a woman's womb, where they came from. This is the fake eyelash. I'm trying to sarcastically make fun of a woman's fake eyelashes. I'm like, if I put eyelashes, on me, I can make it longer. And this is the light fuck. The for me the light, the photons always resemble the sperm, and the penis, the light, the light that shines on the pussy is just like makes the sex all enlightened, the light, it's something that's very very bright and should be embraced like the power of a light. And as you see, the flashlight is my penis. Instead of how the pussy and the dicks are always just very shady, they're very dark. You don't want to see it. You always try to hide it. But instead, I'm trying to brighten it up, a bit, because penis and pussies are the brightest areas of the human body. So you should brighten it up. And this picture right here, I gotta censor it because it got taken down before. This is I blurred out all the nipples and the pussies and the dicks, and the couples becomes homogenized. The face, my face, because they've been together for so long that there's no difference. The differentiation between sexes are just gone. They just kind of became a blur. There's no sex. They become each other, or smeared into each other. This is the waiter that serves with his mouth. Serves milk, serves clam chowders and noodles with his mouth. And this is I told this grandma to hold my BBC, and she washes it. Wow, her grandson looks on, and I guess this is an image of reminiscence and memories, long and repressed desires from the adolescence. And I really like the Taiwanese market, so I always take pictures of meat, the corpses, to make them really beautiful because people look at them like, you know. And this is I took this in Vietnam. This person who sells pots and stuff are all surrendered by what she sells. You know, what she sells just kind of take over her identity, just kind of like it's halo objects, it's material, halo materialized halo. And for this one, I took a bunny, toy bunny, from the store, from the toy store, and then I brought it to the butcher, and then I told him to cut it open and put intestines. I think it was chicken or pig intestines. I'm not sure inside it, and I sewed it back up. I told him to sew it back up, and I put it back into the shop where I got the toy bunny from. And the next person who bought it would be very lucky. And this is the no, this shopper, you know, because they're lost in this island. You know, they don't know where they're going. They have no directions. The wind is blowing, and it's kind of like this end of the world scenario where desert island scenario. But then they start holding on to their bags, their shopping bags, because that's what defines who they are. And even though they're gonna get blown away by wind and by the ocean, they're gonna drown or whatever. They still want to hold on to their properties. They still want to hold on to their whatever they're consuming. It's the shark fin that I installed inside in snow because I remember, I think it was 2 years ago. Snowed really hard, and then I was bored. I was like, what if a shark is swimming in the snow? And this is a poop couple looking at a human couple. I'm not sure if those poops or the couple's poop lovers are looking at human lovers, and we're looking at poop lovers looking at the human lovers, and human lovers are looking into the ocean. So the product of a relationship, no matter how great the relationship is, at the end of the day, it's all rendered into a poop. And this is called the intrusion because me and my girlfriend went to this really expensive hotel, and usually the service, the housekeeper or whatever, comes to clean to tighten up the place while we're gone, right? Because the two classes or the two parties aren't supposed to be at the same space and time. They're not supposed to be together, doing whatever they're doing together. Because usually when the service come, whoever the guests usually leave. But then I'm like, I want to put the two elements together to create an equality because sort of like a clash of class there. I told her to just keep cleaning, keep doing whatever she would do if we were gone, and then I told and then we would be doing the same thing as whatever we would be doing if she was gone. So I was just laying there like maybe after I just came, and then she was watching TV, and then the housekeeper doing it, probably wiping off the com whatever, but doing it at the same time in the same space, just sort of just homogenize the classes, make everything equal. It's sort of like a mental cut and paste. This is from that video Free Association. And this is a portrait of me, my brother, and my mom. And instead of my brother's face, you can see my brother's face is actually sort of like a mask. He was sort of wearing this mask that's made out of reflection of my mom. Just want to emphasize the mother and son relation. I always used to lose my keys a lot, so I just sort of I made a larger copy of my house keys and put it in front of my house. And I'm like, I can't lose it anymore, can you? It's very self-explanatory. A heart that's bleeding is what I feel most of the time. And then the one in the corner is a heart that's smoking. I was chewing 100 gums at the same time, and then yeah, it's 100 gums. And this is from my video Entropy. Put links in those videos at the bottom. I took them off of YouTube because I already got 2 strikes, so I put them on Vimeo. This is a woman who is being sold. You can see she's inside a shopping cart, trying to objectify her, I guess. You can shop for women and then put like a tag on her. You can scan her for a price. And I installed like a really small, tiny model car, toy car. Put it in this really big parking space. This one is my head. All the books that I read over the years became my head. But at the end of the day, all the knowledge gets flushed down the toilet. All the knowledge wants to climb into the toilet and wants to be flushed out. And this is the symbol of death. I think this is a pig's head, and then I installed it on the bike, Dali style. Just try to remind you how dangerous it is to ride a bicycle in Taiwan. And this is the attack. All my hamsters are on the dildo. This is a portrait of some old man, and I guess this one symbolizes how women have no clue what's going on inside a man's mind. They just have no clue. Okay, so that's it. So I don't really like to explain my work too much because I think an artist is only responsible for part of the final product of the artwork because it's the three-way interaction and communication, three-way dialogue between the artist and the object itself and the mind of the viewer, the audience. Those three elements have to be interacting together for an artwork to appear, for an artwork to um, appear. So like my job is only part of it, and like the sculpture itself, if you're looking at a sculpture by itself, it's nothing. It's gotta arise. The work arises out of the interaction and the dialogues between the artist and the object and you, the audience. So you're doing most of this part of the work for me right now. Your consciousness is filling in the object of or whatever it is that I'm calling it art. All right, that's it.